Good morning. My sister, Debbie Smith-Mayer, has asked me to say a few words about her on this special day for her. I'm Doug Smith, and I graduated from Minnetonka a couple of years before her in 1963. Today's story probably needs to start with our mother and father. They both grew up in very difficult family situations during the Great Depression, where there often was not enough money to even put food on the table. Through their uncommon vision, tenacity, and striving for excellence in all they did, and their lifelong empathy for others, they were somehow able to rise above their very humble beginnings to become the successful leaders and the model citizens in their community that they were. It seems to me that Debbie must have fully absorbed these traits and attributes over the years, and then, with her seemingly boundless energy, took it all to a whole new level in everything she chose to do. One early example of this that I can remember is when, as a little kid, she figured out that she could take her ambidextrous skills with the right coaching and a couple of $100 of practice. She could learn to compete in tennis tournaments with both hands, not just one, and that would give her an unexpected edge. Clearly, when she would switch hands in the middle of a point and crush a ground stroke right past her bewildered opponents, her vision and her hard work were well rewarded. Speaking of the unexpected, and much to the surprise of her very attractive and talented inner circle of girlfriends, she showed up at the prom with none other than the tall, handsome star football player for the football team, not of Minnetonka's team, but of Wayzata's of all things. And believe it or not, they continued dating even after he went on to a scholarship at West Point. Another example of her vision and tenacity is long before Title IX was even thought about, Debbie and our mother found it unacceptable that the only way girls could compete in tennis tournaments was if they belonged to country clubs. So one bright morning, the two of them got in the car and drove around to meet with a number of Lake Conference girls Phi Ed teachers and athletic directors to see if they could arrange some off-the-books inter-school tennis matches for girls who otherwise had no place to play. They were clearly one of the early pioneers to get girls' athletic programs to the place they are today. Debbie never had much time for traditional boundaries and fears and taboos. When she moved into a crime-ridden inner-city California neighborhood, she found out who the local gang lord was and told him where she lived, that she would not be locking her door, and it was up to him to guard her home. Well, she's still here today to talk about it, so I guess it must have worked. Debbie always thrived on constant variety and contrasts in her life. After the intensity of teaching the toughest cases of special needs kids in the classroom all day, she'd pack up her belongings and head out to coach both girls and boys varsity tennis teams at two extremely affluent Silicon Valley high schools. Well, that was a contrast of major proportions, even for her. After a number of years into her career, from Florida to Texas to California, she figured out that to gain access to the highest and some of the lowest places she needed to go in the community to promote and implement significant changes to the system, she needed the credentials to do so. Specifically, not one, but two master's degrees, one in education administration and the other in counseling. With these credentials in hand and a whole lot of fortitude, she set out to knock down one barrier after the next to get the job done. The specifics of her accomplishments are well documented in her alumni biography, so I don't need to go and restate them here, but let's just say that her empathy for disenfranchised kids and her determination to accomplish her vision and mission required her to repeatedly wander undaunted into dangerous crack houses, abusive homes, police precincts and jails, and innumerable local, state, and national school administrations and school board meetings, all to make life better for thousands of kids, their families, their schools, their communities, one kid at a time. I see my time is running short here, so I'd better wrap up. As your brother, and on behalf of our mom and dad, who are definitely here with us in spirit to share this special day, I simply say, well done, Debbie, and congratulations on receiving this very special recognition from all of your admiring homies back here in the good old Minnetonka School District.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Well, this is a giant leap from my notoriety as a class clown to distinguished anything. And speaking of distinguished, I would like to thank my incredible family and dear friends for their love and support, not only for today, but as my companions on this lifelong journey. First, I want to thank my parents. They worked hard to allow me to thrive. They did everything possible and sacrificed much to ensure that I had a good life. And then there's my brother, Doug. I want to give him a big shout out for all of his care and love. He's always been there for me and continues to be one of my biggest supporters. Never mind that he made me play goalie as he shot pucks at me for hockey practice. There I was in my figure skates, no pads, no mask, just a hockey stick, and I hoped good luck. Doug was assured of my goalie status longevity by gifting me a new hockey stick at Christmas for several years. Thanks, Doug. I still love you. And how about my friends? Wow, what a gift they've been. I've known many of them for 50 years or more, and they have enriched my life beyond measure. So I say thank you, and let's keep sharing this incredible adventure together. How about the teachers who have mentored and encouraged me since elementary school? For them, I have high praise and a huge attitude of gratitude. One in particular is Pat Edblad Forrest. She is here supporting me today, just as she did at Minnetonka High. She was a great teacher and became a great friend. She changed the trajectory of my life and is one of the primary reasons I became an educator and also became involved in law enforcement as a criminologist. Thank you, Pat, for seeing past my class clown antics and contributing to my life as a mentor and a dear friend. By now, you know I didn't get here alone. Yes, I worked hard. Yes, I made choices. Yes, I did what I needed to do to pick myself up and learn the lessons that life threw at me. But I will always say thank you to everyone, to every situation, and every experience for holding my hand and guiding me through my rich and precious life. You know we all have choices. It's a choice to embrace life, trust, and move forward with power and love. It's a choice to let go of the old, surrender to the present, and have faith in the future. Maya Angelou once said, "You may not remember what someone said, or even what they did, but you will always remember how they made you feel." Right now, I'm feeling honored and humbled by this award and the love and support of my family and friends. Thank you for being on this beautiful journey called life with me.